Sir, you were talking about the fact that just being Muslims has never been a reason for peace, and we have seen there are constant examples of it. Now here Pakistan, they said we have a right to carry out any exercise because it is a terror situation and we have a right to protect ourselves, to which Afghanistan raised the issue of sovereignty. However, my question is, recently we saw an agreement between Pakistan and Saudi Arabia that if there is any attack from any side, it will be considered an attack on both the countries. But when this happened along the border, there was a very clear statement from Saudi Arabia calling for peace from both sides and not to escalate tensions, etc. Clearly, the agreement on paper has, I mean, it's not showing in practical terms.
Well, how do you define war and aggression? In this case, Pakistan is the aggressor. Now, whatever quote unquote the terror attacks that the Pakistan claims, it's not being done by Taliban. It is being done by the TTP. So there is actually no legitimacy of invoking that act. Secondly is that whatever one may say, it is going to be an act which will probably be always invoked by Saudi Arabia. It will be very difficult for the Pakistanis to invoke it against for their own protection, because who are they going to fight? Ultimately, at the end of the day, it's only India. There is going to be no fight with any of their other neighbors. Land battles is where the war is going to take place. Where aerial battles are concerned, those are basically strikes. So, if you look at it from that perspective,
you don't agree there may be a situation with Iran anytime?
It can be a situation with Iran, but I think Pakistan will also tread on that very carefully. Yeah. Though of course we know that Pakistan, I mean Saudi Arabia and Iran both are at loggerheads. But in the overall Muslim narrative, in the overall Muslim world, Pakistan will find it very difficult, because Pakistan has been trying to position itself as the net security provider for the Islamic world. So they are constantly trying to bring this out. With Iran, they've had a very hot and cold relationship. They warm up to them periodically, and at times then they distance themselves. You may have noticed that it was in context of the strikes that had to be done on Iran by the Americans and the Israelis that this whole bombing up to Asim Munir took place.
Yes.
It didn't deliver, but the fact is that the relationship is warming up. So there is going to be that part of on the western side of Pakistan.
But it is basically India specific, this agreement, or if there is any other agreement.
I would believe not so. I don't think it's India specific, because I don't think the Saudis are going to get involved with any fight between India and Pakistan. They haven't done it historically, they won't do it even now.
So for whose consumption was that agreement then?
It's basically, I think it is for basically Saudi Arabia's own protection. Because if you note that the Pakistanis are personally responsible for their security. So they have that relationship.